Hello, 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 fam. It's Friday. Say it with me now. Friday. Yes. We've made it. We've made it through another week. How are y'all? What's up? It's your girl, Cher, back with you on yet another Friday. I am doing well. I hope all of you are the same. There's some tough things going on right now, fam. There's definitely some tough things going on right now. And you and I are ready to scream into the void about it. But, I feel like it's also this is our Friday. Okay? We're not going to let them take away our Friday from us. We're going to keep it positive as we always do on this channel. Plus, there's a form and a time for everything. So anybody that wants to do an additional Black AF roundtable pretty soon on some of the things that's going on right now, Black AF female edition, let's go, hit me up, y'all, because there's plenty to be said there. But today, y'all, I'm so very, very excited for my guest that I have with me today. But before we get into it, I need to take care of some housekeeping here at the top of the program. Speaking about my sponsors. And first up, sponsor that's been with this channel since day one, 88 Riddles. Shout out to Jay over at 88 Riddles. Oh man, let me tell you something. Jay can have all my money. Okay. Just so talented, and so creative. And I've got a Goblin t-shirt. I'm working on like saving up for a bunch of different dice vaults that they've got over on their Etsy right now. Y'all, before he starts selling out with some of the ones that have been on sale for a while now, y'all better go check it out. I'm telling you. And if you go over to the Etsy shop, use code GAMER, okay? Use code GAMER, you get 10% off all your purchases. And you go to etsy.com/shop/88riddles. And next up, my newer sponsor, proud sponsor of this whole past month and going forward, 1985 Games. And they have, y'all, let me tell you, okay, the type of products that I love, especially when you're a starting out GM, are the things that will make your game flow much more smoothly for you. You don't got to worry about it. I know for one thing, I love terrain pieces. Really, I do. If I had the wherewithal to keep up with all the dioramas that you can make for your games, you would think I'd be living in, the land of make-believe with this whole like diorama. Y'all know what I'm talking about. People that have like train sets and like terrain, like going all around their rooms and whatnot. I wish I had the space, but I really don't. But with 1985 Games, they've got terrain pieces fresh out the box. This is the Hell and High Water series, okay? And you just cut these out. These are 2D terrain pieces. Cut them out, and now you've got modular pieces, terrain pieces for your game. Bam, boom, done. So be sure to check out their website. If you go through the link that's going to be posted in chat, that will help your girl earn a little bit. And also, if you use code FREESHIPPING60, you will get free shipping on orders over $60. And so I encourage you to go check them out. Not only terrain pieces, but they've got the deck of stories that I've used on this channel as well. Great for prompts when you're putting together either an impromptu game or even a longer campaign. I just find it so useful to have those prompts at the ready for NPCs, for story objectives. It's really cool. You should definitely go check them out. And so that takes care of our sponsors. And now, yes, y'all, I'm very excited to have my guest on today. Today, I have the honor to chat with my wonderful guest, Kandi J. Williams. Kandi is a creator of indie games that are rich in roleplay and light on mechanics, such as Picking Up the Pieces, Kids on Hoverboards, and Cutthroat. She is a recipient of the 2022 I Need Diverse Games Grant, as well as a nominee for the 2022 Diana Jones Emerging Designer Award. She is also the Black Queer Nerdy Executive Producer and GM for the Dicey Amazon's Twitch channel. She is a writer of TTRPGs, comics, and in the near future, books. And she has a passion for all games, including tabletop games, board games, video games. GamerNation represent. We celebrate games all day, all yay on this channel. So it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Kandi J. Williams. Yes. Hi, Kandi.
Hello.
How are you, my dear? What's going on?
After that intro, I'm doing great.
Well, all I'm here to do is promote the facts. That's it. Okay. I mean, I just definitely such an honor to have you on the show today. One of the things, and we've talked about this offline, the fact that folks who are POC trying to emerge within the TTRPG space need to know that there are front runners who are making these moves, who are contributing to the community in big ways. And like I said, like just in researching your history in preparation for today's convo, I mean, I'm blown away by the amount of creativity that you have poured into this space. Can you just start by just telling us a little bit about your background in gaming and what made you make that move to, okay, just from being a consumer to being a creator?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So my family was big on like buying us games when we were kids. And so we were always playing games. I had the first Nintendo when I was younger, and both me and my brother and our parents would play. Like my parents were the first ones to unlock the Teenage Mutant Turtle van in the game because they were playing while we were sleeping. Like,
oh my gosh! Ooh, I know Duval out there in chat is geeking out right now. I know you are. Okay, so am I. Yes. Wow.
So always been really big into games. I had heard of Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs, but I had never gotten into those until I actually went to college. And so I was in a co-ed dorm, and the guy across the hall was very into Dungeons and Dragons. And so we became friends over the first semester, and he's like, "Hey, you want to play this game?" And I'm like, "Okay, what is it about?" And he's like, "Well, you get to make your own character, and you can be all of these fantasy things, and it's all this stuff." And I'm just like, yeah,
right. It's sure. Oh, and you know what? My goblins out there are gonna get on my case until I suit up properly. You know what? This is what happens when you rush it, y'all. I'm telling you. When you rush to get on screen and you don't remember all your props, come on now. Now the ears are standard issue. And shout out to my ear stylist, as I call her, Evelyn Chant, who came up with these.
Mhm.
Thankfully they are silicone, because I have an issue with latex,
Mm.
and so real hard, y'all, hard to find a creator that makes the elven ears in like diverse skin tones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
yeah. But continue, please. I'm sorry. Yes, college.
Yeah, and so we a few of us got together, and at the time I was taking an art class, and so I was like really into. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draw my character and like come up with this super cool like fancy name, and I don't even remember at the time like if he actually had the books. Or if we were just kind of going off of his memory of Dungeons and Dragons, uh, but we started creating characters. I drew it out, started looking up like Latin for like, names and all these other
Oh, snap.
yeah,
Oh,
I
she
was
went
already into
in.
it. Already into
And
it.
that was before the age of name generators. So yeah,
Exactly.
whoa, she went in, y'all.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Love it.
we started playing and we were having so much fun. We played through that first year of college. And just had so much fun. Unfortunately, he did leave the second year to go to a different school. Um,
Oh.
and so we didn't have any of the books at that point. So we were
Ah,
like,
man, it's like the
I don't
books
know.
left right with him.
I don't
Oh
know. Right.
no.
So we didn't know what to do at that point. And like at the time, I didn't like know where to get the books, or I don't even know if I actually knew that it was called Dungeons and Dragons at that point. I just knew we were just playing and having fun, right? So that's kind of how I got my start with like TTRPGs. And then would kind of play here and there over the years. And then about, what is it, 2022. So about 8 years ago now, I think, I started kind of looking into it again. And I'm like, okay, I really want to play something. And I started searching online. Might have been about 7 years ago. And I found like some shows that were playing it, like streaming it. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And so I found like Rivals and I found Critical Role. And yeah. And so I'm like, oh, I really want to get back into this again. And so
Shout out to the Rivals crew, by the way. Uh-oh, my
yes,
ear came off
absolutely.
one more time. Here, we're gonna
Absolutely.
try this one more time. Here we go. But yeah, shout out to the Rivals crew, because it was like the order of discovery for me was
Mhm.
Critical Role first,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then Rivals came along, and then I was like, there's black people.
Same. That was same order for me.
Yes. Yes. Shout out to Cypher and all of
Yes.
those guys over there. Oh my
Which
goodness.
it's kind of wild to say now that I've like played with, played a game with Cypher on like Roll20, and have done some stuff with Into the Motherlands with them. Like the Dicey Amazons were doing like the first season did the interview show
Yes.
for a lot of the cast and crew, and then the last season we did like the what do you call them, the recaps
Yes.
for each
Mhm.
episode. And so
Oh yeah.
it's
I
like
saw
so wild
that
to
and
say,
I'm like,
we were
total nerdgasm over here. Trust. Because I'm like, these are the collabs that I love.
yeah.
Oh yes.
Um, but I started like a and I say family game, like I'm living in a city where like that's far away from my family, but it's my found family down here, and they have been almost since I moved down here, which is almost 20 years ago now.
Woo.
But started this family game and was just really getting into it. I was building the terrain, and like I ended up sort of being the forever DM. And so really got into like building terrain, got like a 3D printer, like I was just all into it.
I'm like, girl, thank you for your service. Yes.
I
I've
don't do
been
anything
telling,
small.
as I have been telling Duval, like I call myself dipping my toe into the GM pool. There's an upcoming campaign that I've been just quietly planning in the background of things for about a year and a half now. I'm hoping I'm aiming for the fall. It may get pushed back, not sure. There's certain things in the background that have to balance out a little bit, but the premise, the arc of the campaign, I have that all worked out.
Nice.
And like it's not for the faint of heart at all. Am I right? Like
It is
talk
not.
to me about how
Yeah.
like, when you decide that okay, there's a story here that needs to be told.
Mhm.
Like who do you reach out to first usually? Like do you have your own team?
Mhm.
Like before Dicey Amazons became a
Yeah.
thing, like who were your go-tos, if any, to reach out and start helping to pull stories together?
Actually, I was kind of doing it on my own. We started with because we started with D&D and we were playing oh god, what is it called? It's the oh, I can't think of what it's called. It's the box set, the intro box set to like D&D.
Okay, got you.
It's right there. The fan deliver. It's
Yes,
yes,
Fandelver,
yes,
yes.
and Delver and all that stuff. Yes. So we started playing that,
Mhm.
and I started like putting like my own beats into that story at that time. And so I think it was easier for me because there was sort of like the arc and everything was already there, but I would put like little side quests and little like things for that could end up expanding during or after that campaign ended to go to after that. And so that's how it kind of started for me. And then I would do a couple of like one shots here and there to just sort of like get used to doing like my own stories. And so like doing something shorter is definitely easier, although one shots are kind of hard to kind of keep one shots.
Oh yeah, no, one shots are a myth. Spoiler alert, y'all know I make t-shirts and stuff. My next t-shirt is gonna be one shots are a myth, because they really are. It's like, especially when you get like the sweet spot of a group of people to come together,
Yeah.
right? And that vibe, that chemistry, and it's like, oh, but wait, I don't want this to only be one shot. I want to go and play forever and ever and ever. So, yeah, that total myth.
I've been successful at one shot, and that was because like another group actually a couple of years ago had asked us to do like a Pride Month one shot on their for them.
Okay.
And so that was successful. Like I just went kind of bare bones on it, and then everything else I'm like, okay, we're just gonna work it out like as things happen. And so that one had a conclusion and everything, and that felt like a one shot. Like, but anything else that I've tried to do as a one shot, there like you could definitely tell that everybody wanted more. Like,
yep. And then when the audience starts saying, oh, okay, so when's the campaign happening? Y'all, we advertised it as one shot, right? Okay. Oh, you liked it? Okay, great. Okay, yep. And back to the drawing board right here. Let me start building the campaign right now. But yeah. So and when it comes to that short story format, I find that a lot of creators that I speak to have that cross-pollination of geekdom, where they like certain types of short stories, like comics, like certain things like that, and that's where they draw inspiration from. Like and I noticed that you also love comic books. Like what were some of your favorite comic books coming up?
Black Panther has always been one of my favorites. Also Wonder Woman, like those two are my jams.
Forever.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Ooh. Yes, ma'am.
So I've been a fairly happy camper with phase one of Marvel with all of that. Yeah, so those definitely
And you
my
and
favorites.
I spoke about this, and we both happen to be brand nerds as well. Graphic design speaking in graphic design speak. And one thing that I've always been in awe of is the marketing that Marvel has done over the past 2 decades in particular. Like, they've been on point. Like, just on point. Like I feel like before he passed, R.I.P. Stan Lee, it's almost
Mhm.
like he made sure, because he had his hand in just about every point of production, really. Although, not a lot of people saw him until he made his little cameo in
Yeah.
the movie, right? But he really did influence a lot of the production throughout, including the marketing. And
Mhm.
I've always been so impressed with their way of marketing their films. And
Mhm.
so Marvel has been a long time fave of mine as well. I mean, let me talk to my DC folks for a minute because I know I can hear a chat already. Already, I can hear a chat. But DC. Okay, okay. Let me talk to you now. Let me talk to you. I love DC too. It's it's the amount of content that Marvel has put out
Mhm.
in comparison. I mean, sorry y'all, but I'm a content maker, so when I see, Marvel is like hitting it every time, hitting it, that's where my attention is going to be drawn most of the time. But what up, Batman Nation? Yes. Mhm. I'm with
Yeah,
you. With y'all.
I'm the
Uh,
same. I still like DC. I mean, I can even say that there's definitely some
looking
aspects
for
of DC
Duval.
that I love.
Looking for Duval.
Yes.
Duval, you the one with the raised hand in the audience. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. I hear you. See? All right. But
But
yes, so well, when it comes to carrying that from your inspirations
mhm,
to creating games specifically,
mhm,
what were some of your core reasons and your core motivations
mhm.
for creating the games that you have today?
Right. Well, one of them is in kind of specific to Marvel and how they were able to sort of like weave everything together like really well. Is I kind of have that going with a comic that I started into my first game, Cutthroat, into a book series. And so like it's going to have that whole that weaving of stories that Marvel does. And I'm just hoping that I can, do it justice.
Thank you for that because I find that when I find a good piece of content, whether it starts out as an anime, a book, a film, a short story, um then when I really hook into it and I'm drawn in, I feel like just like the one shot myth. It's like, "Ooh, okay, so where's more? Where's
Right.
Is there more? Please?" And so I have every confidence, just saying I'm totally here for it. The more content that you make for it. And it's just it's and I can imagine it's hard because you want to make sure that you've reached out to a target audience. You want
Mhm.
to have all the business things in mind, certainly. Talk to me about how important or influential it may have been, if you've had any mentorship from the business perspective, because a lot of times I think that we as creators, we're like, I'm just gonna go out there and create, and I'm going to release it to the world. And then we're kind of standing there and there's crickets, and it's like, uh, okay, so I'm just going to release it to the world. Someone come help me. Help me get it out there to everybody. And it's like, there's not
Mhm.
often a lot of help to help release things.
Mhm.
Are you able to tell
Yeah.
us like what helped you through that process?
Yeah, so I got a bit of help from my mom. She runs her own business as well. And so just kind of getting into sort of the nitty-gritty of the business side and paperwork and all that stuff. She was very helpful with that. But getting
Fantastic.
yeah. But getting into the content creation side, Jess Meyer from Utopia has been just a big help. And so let's see, when we started the Dicey Amazons, we didn't know a lot of people. Like, I had been kind of lurking in a lot of streams and things like that, but like we didn't really know anybody in the TTRPG like world at all. And so after I don't remember how long it was, but after a few months, like started, Jess was like in our chats, and they they know everything. I swear, it seems like they know everything. And so just getting to talk to them and get- you know picking their brain about content creation and like the best tech for streaming and all that stuff was very helpful to us, because I did a lot of research and made some decisions, and they weren't the best, after I kind of was able to pick their brain, but it was something that got us started, right? And so it was just very helpful to be able to talk to somebody to see, okay, you know what, let's change that out. Let's probably not do this. Ooh, this is a really good idea. And they're still helpful. Like, I think I've known them now for, a year and a half, 2 years. And so they're always helpful.
That is so clutch when you have the right team of people around
Mhm.
you. In any creative endeavor, you run the risk of people who turn into yes people around
Mhm.
you. And I'm from New York. I shoot straight from the hip. I expect nothing less from people around me.
Mhm.
So if someone is looking at something that I've written or shot and says, okay, ooh, share, let me speak to you a second, because I think we could, improve on this, and third, then I love having that feedback.
Mhm.
I will always welcome positive criticism, so that I can, help improve. And I feel like having that mentorship, like I said, that's real love right there.
Mhm.
Because if you go into it with that business mind, then you can also be taken more seriously as you progress along your content creation career. I mean, that's just how I feel like you'd be more successful. And
Absolutely.
yep. So I'm going to say this. I think that we're a little over halfway through the program here. Time
Mhm.
flies really quickly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have us take a 5-minute break and allow my listeners and my watchers to have a drink of water. Definitely hydrate, guys. It's getting real hot outside these days. So let's everybody hydrate, take a bio break, get meds, get a snack, do what you need to do. And when we come back, we're gonna be talking dice. Yes! All right, so stay tuned, guys. Easy to.
I'm bored.
We can go scream at the cat for another hour.
Nah, I'm tired of screaming at the cat.
Shut up with that! Be bored no more with 1985 Games. Enjoy their vast variety of products and help bring your tabletop to a whole new level. With easy-to-use dungeon sticky notes. The deck of stories holds prompts and adventure hooks for any setting, and thousands of cutout game pieces with their dungeon craft.
You've come all this way for nothing, fool! The princess is mine! You'll never get away with this, Malachor!
Write everything down in your Hero Notes journal and start your adventure today! Visit the World Wide Web address 1985games.com and find many helpful products such as their Dungeon Craft series, battle maps, deck of stories, miniatures, dungeon notes, and now VHS dice. Again, that's 1985games.com.
Okay, so we have Kandi J. Williams with us today for those who are just joining us. And she is an executive producer, she's a GM, she's a writer, she's a go-getter, y'all. And if you haven't already followed Kandi, we have her links to her socials available in chat. And just looking at your Twitter page here, first off, congrats on recently getting your funding on your Kickstarter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Talk to us a little bit about that process. It's always challenging as a content creator to have folks be as passionate as you are about what content you create. How was that process for you guys?
So it was nerve-wracking. So I'm actually one of the writers on that project. That specific project is called Incredible Items, and it is over 150 magic items for 5e. And we came up with and this one's actually done a little bit differently. Usually publishers have people write the items and then draw them. This specific one, the artist drew everything, and then the artist looked at them, the writers looked at them and said, okay, what is this? And so it was really interesting to be able to look at a lot of this art and go, okay, like, what can I do with this?
Nice.
And so I wrote about a dozen items in this particular book, and this is my first project that I've been a part of that has been crowdfunded. And so to have it actually fund, and it's going to be out there soon. I think we're ending in like 5 days, and it's amazing. This is technically my first writing credit that's been out there. That's not something that I've self-published.
Wow. Whoa. And it's nerve-wracking in the sense that you're doing your best, right, to mesh and gel with a group, as a collaboration. You, even when you know exactly what you're bringing to the table, there's still that initial period where you're still kind of trying to feel other folks out and see, okay, where can I be the most helpful in this scenario versus that. And I even, on one of my last collaborations, one person was very thankful, for example, that I was able to spell check and grammar check for them, because they were like, share, I can't, no, you have to please. I was like, sure, you got it, I got you, fam. But that's really great. Matter of fact, I don't mind posting the link if you want to pass me that link for that Kickstarter.
Oh, sure.
Here in our chat window here. I'm so happy to go ahead and post that to chat, so that everyone can make sure to check it out and hopefully donate to that as well. And because being an indie creator, many people give you props, for striking out on your own and doing your own thing. But it's still kind of a lonely place sometimes. Even when you're in a collaboration, it's still like, okay, I'm in a collaboration. Maybe all my fellow collaborators are my friends that I already know and are comfortable with. So a lot of times, no, though. And so it's like trying to explain what I do to my non-nerdy friends or my otherwise nerdy friends. It's like, oh, like it's difficult to translate that to them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's great. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and get that link out right here, right now. And while I do that, here comes the favorite part of the program, y'all. We're going to start talking some dice. What you got with you today?
Okay, so if y'all haven't noticed, my favorite color is red. So I decided to pull out like my red dice.
So I'm glad I got the memo, and you're going to see why I said that in a second. But go ahead.
So I have my little red dice box here that joins me, and so one of my favorites is the crit dice. And so this one actually has a dice. It's outside and then on the inside, and so you
Ooh.
can roll. Yeah. So
Here,
if
I'm
you
gonna
got
swap us.
crit dice.
I'm gonna swap us over
bigger-
side by side again. Here we go. Yes,
Alright.
show
And I
us
said-
that again. Let's see it.
And I said crit dice, but it's the advantage or disadvantage dice. That's what I meant. And so you can roll dice at once. Yeah. With this
Nice.
one. So
Oh,
this is one of my favorites.
snap. That's really cool. I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. This one's cool. We actually helped out a small indie TTRPG company called that does dragon baggins. And so there's this little dragon dice bags that has the dragon heads, and they're amazing. And so I did get some dice from them, and I love that their 6 actually has like the dragon on it.
Ooh, I love it. And
Yeah.
so that's a plastic die, the red.
It
Look
is.
at that
Mhm.
red with the black stripe, the
Yes.
gold numbering. That's
Mhm.
what's up. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it almost looks like gemstone though. That's why I love
It does.
about
It does.
that.
Yeah. So they have some really
Pretty.
nice dice. I like this one for like a
Oh,
magic
yes.
user. It's the clear with like the red sort of,
Oh, the red
smoke,
swirls. in it.
swirls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely use this for a nice magic user.
Love that.
And then the dice that the Amazons love to hate, because I am usually the DM for all of our campaigns.
Oh,
This
snap.
is my metal red.
Oh, that's
D20
the
dice.
whamma. That's the
And-
whamma right there. Mhm.
Yes, you can hearing this on our wooden table is whew. But this one is my lucky dice because I roll maybe a few more 20s than usual.
Oh dear. Okay.
Well, the Amazons, like I said, they love to hate this one.
That's automatically GM dice. Mhm.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep. You hate to see it, but you love to see it. Yes, indeed.
So yeah,
my
this is my
goodness.
favorite. This one I got at when PAX South was still going on down here in San Antonio. And yes, my favorite.
Love it. Love it. Well, I'm actually showcasing. I'm gonna call this Happy Chunky Day.
Ooh, okay.
Because I happen to collect all 3 sizes of dice, like the mid-range, the tiny ones, and the big chunky boys. And so the first one, obviously, this is color coordinated for my taste. Now, y'all know I love some purple.
Yes.
Y'all know
that
it.
looks beautiful.
Yup. And it is a metal die.
It's the
And
caged, right?
Yes, indeed. And I had to get that silver look with it too.
Yeah.
Oh man, yes, purple and silver is one of my favorite color combos. If you couldn't tell, come on, it's ridiculous over here. And then, but here's why I said I'm glad I got the memo, because one of my favorite plastic dies is this one right here. It's got the red and it's got like white swirls through it. White and gray swirls. So you want to talk magic user? Yeah, I feel like this would definitely be a magic user die for sure. And it's always somehow it's rolled really well for me. This is a Kraken dice die. And it's always rolled really well for me when I'm playing more infernal characters, shall we say. So, yes, indeed. Love it. And then you want to go total dragon style. Here we go. So I've got a red, black, and gold that I swear by. This really, really is, with the red numbering especially, like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh,
it pops.
That's for Dragonborn, dragon style, and sometimes infernal characters. If I happen to DM, but it rolls pretty well, and I love the look of it. you know, that burnished feel to it. So yeah, those are my top favorites for today to share with you guys. Now, as all things, unfortunately, I see we're coming to the end of our
Oh,
our
no.
time together today. Oh, it went by so fast,
It
but
sure did.
yes, but like I like to say, we support indie creators here on this channel. So please, by all means, if you haven't already, please go check out Kandi on all of her socials listed there in the chat. And I just want to thank you so much, Kandi, for being on the show today. It has been so awesome speaking with you and hearing your insights coming from, you know, the entrepreneurial side of things.
Mhm.
And
Thank you so much
oh,
for having
absolutely.
me. So much fun.
Absolutely. And as we sign off on this channel, we have a specific way we sign off. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
Here we go. All right. So when we're signing off on this channel, we always say love, peace,
Peace
and soul.
and soul. I love
This
it.
is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Beautiful.
indeed. All right. My listeners, my watchers, all of you who stopped by today for the show, I really appreciate you. Every time that you stop by, that you, tweet, retweet, repost, every opportunity to support this channel, donations through bits and tips and all of those good things. I always appreciate that because that helps me to keep bringing great content to the channel. And I actually have, I've got a new stream coming soon. This weekend is actually a little booked for me. I had hoped to start streaming my new stream. It's a playthrough stream, and I've been dropping hints on socials all week as far as what game I'll be broadcasting a playthrough of. But in any event, if not this weekend, starting on Monday, we will start with that brand new stream as well for additional content. So otherwise, I hope everyone is doing well, continues to do well. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Mwah. Bye now.